What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome in each and every one of you Phyrexians that are out there. I'm seeing more and more Phyrexians as we go along in this WOE League. You might be wicked, you might be royal, but either way, you're a roll token, and I thank you for coming. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home. I am a 3-time top 8er, 2-time league winner, and 1 time I did the Monday night feature commentary with Player of the Year, Richard K. Preacher. That's right, check out the Monday night commentaries. I did 2 of those games. Pretty fun. Nice fun thing for me to try. Raph messaged me earlier that day and said, hey, I got something going on. I normally do this. Do you mind stepping in? And I did not. And I had a fun time and got to see some really cool Magic games. This is Hunt the Week. It is a podcast about the Sealed Arena Gauntlet League that we all love and play in. This is WOE Wilds of Eldraine Week 3. How did we get here? What packs are you opening? Are you opening Mom? Are you a mommer? Or maybe you are a WOE purist. Either way, I hope you're enjoying it and having a good time. I know that I am. And we got to talk about it. Let's get into it and let's know our role.
And I quote, you know your damn role and shut your damn mouth.
That's right. As I record, we are talking 220 on Thursday. This is your top 8. Jack H. Rakic, 5-0, right now 13-2. And I played Rakic this week, and man, their deck is, I get it. Their deck is very good. And up next, Zach Carr, Zach C, 12-3. Nick S. Najisi, 12-3. Jordan M. JM Tron, 11-4. Sean SP Talran, 10-2. Underplay right now, Sean. You got to pick it up. Evan C. Peas of Crab, 10-5. Miranda L. Black Canary, 9-4. And Adam S. Wisma, 9-5. Those are the people we got to be scared of, right? Those are the people that we don't know what's going on. And I've played a lot of these people. I've played Jack. I've played Adam. Oh boy, a lot of scary names up there. And in fact, one of those names even came on the show this week. But no. We are not there yet. We got to talk about this week, week 3. What's happening? What's going on? I went 3-2. So 4-1, week 1, 1-4, week 2, 3-2, week 3. Giving me back to a positive win rate, a nice positive record. I was playing 3 colors. I dropped my splash, my 3rd color. I'm down to just 2, green, black, and green, black enchantment-y stuff and bargain stuff. It's working fine. It's working pretty good. But I'm enjoying WoE. I'm starting to tail off a little bit on WoE. Not gonna lie, not the league, but I was doing drafts a whole bunch the last couple of weeks, and I'm starting to slow down on those drafts, getting ready for something new, nice, exciting new set. But WoE League is here for a couple more weeks, and I hope you're enjoying it. We got more left. We got more time. And our only 5-0 this week was Jack H. At least our only 5-0 so far. Sean SP could 5-0 if they get the rest of their games in. And I think we have to make the choice, right? Is it Mom? Is it WoE? It's been the discussion this whole league. Maybe at some point you switch. Maybe you don't. I don't really know. I think I'm sticking to WoE the whole way through. I think I am. Just because I need more candy grapples and like tough cookies. That's all I want. It's candy grapples and tough cookies. Give me more of those. So I'm really just hoping to open those cards and keep going WoE. But I don't know. If we do another big league like this and the set's not super strong starting out, I may just do Mom. I may just do Mom next time the whole time. I don't really know. I'm not sure. But please check out the side events, the Miranda Finals for the Mega Drafts coming up. That's going to be fun. Johnny's been doing these weekly bracket tournaments for the WoE League to get some gems on top of getting your wins in. You're going to play the games anyway. You might as well, get some payout for it too while you're at it. And while you're at it, let's go ahead and bring on our guest for the week. So join me as we let the celebration begin.
Where once were contenders, now are befrienders. Let's celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses, celebrate lasses.
That is right. This week I sit down and I talk to not one, but two people, a father and son team, a combo. This was months in the making. I'm not gonna lie. I've been trying to get Nick on for a while. Wanted to get him and Colton on in the partner league. Didn't really happen. Been trying to get him on a little bit since then, and it just hasn't worked out. Finally got them on. So happy to, because Nick has just been, I mean, he's a staple. And I say Najisi so much, and I love it. And we talked about it. Is it Najisi? Is it NJSIII? Is it NJS the third? Well, you will find out in this interview now. All right, everyone. Join me as we welcome in for the celebration this week Nick S. Najisi and Colton. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
Hey, welcome, and so happy to have you. I got to know, first off, when did you start playing Magic? And we'll start with let's start with you, Nick.
So I'm an old guy. I'm 43 years old. So I've been playing for quite some time. I was playing, I think I started playing when the Dark came out. So whatever the math on that is. Still have my place at a Maze of Its from when I was a child. And then I stopped around Homelands. And then I stopped for maybe 20 years or so. And then I got back into it. I'm a teacher, and I do a little morning celebration every day. And one of the celebrations that a kid had was he had this cool Magic card. I'm like, dude, Magic, like the Gathering is still a thing. Like I thought that died out years ago. I didn't know that. I didn't even know the game was still around. And this was maybe 10 years ago. No, maybe less, maybe 8 years ago. So yeah, he showed me this card. He's like, yeah, Magic Gathering still a thing. I won this at something called Friday Night Magic, which I'd never heard of when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. That wasn't a thing. We used to just play on the concrete outside the school or whatever else. So yeah, he got me back into the game. My wife laments it, obviously, with the cost of what it is. So I played, 25 years ago, and then I started the game back up maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, and then I have been playing pretty religiously since then. Colton, you can go for it.
I think I started playing around 8 years ago, around when he started playing again. I remember.
And you're how old?
13.
13, okay.
Yes, I think I was around 5. And I remember we were
Wow.
playing games one day, and you mentioned it to me. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then you showed me some of his cards, and I think it was Giant Spider. Was like, oh, that's a really cool card. So I remember my first deck was mono green Giant Spiders. That was fun.
Yeah, he started playing like you said about when he was 5. He didn't really know how to read well, but I remember he memorized the cards. He actually came to my school. We did a little tournament. Again, this will tell us about when his tournament the deck he ran was mono black with gray merchant. So again, I don't know what that is. That's Theros time.
Yeah.
And that's about when he started playing, just kitchen table type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you started playing competitively at stores, or I think you went to a couple Grand Prix when you were what, like 6 or 7 or 8, maybe?
Yeah, around then.
Yeah, actually, there's a young girl by the name of Dana Fisher, plays elves all the time. Yeah. So him and her, I think are about the same age, because kind of like whenever she got that kind of like that notoriety, we'd talk together and say, dude, there's another person your age that's kind of doing this, because he always wanted to kind of play bigger tournaments. And I don't know if you've ever played a full Grand Prix, have you?
I did one. I think it was a limited in Madison.
Oh, the War of the Spark
Limited.
Yeah, War of the
That's the
Spark.
only big Grand Prix I think I've done, but I've done side events.
Yeah. So hopefully that answers the question as to how long we've been playing.
No, that's so awesome. That sounds super cool. War of the Spark GP. You played in the GP. Was that a limited GP?
I think it was a sealed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It was sealed War of the Spark in Madison, and we both crapped out in
Mhm.
day one. And I think we might have played some side events in day 2.
Oh, wow, look at that. You keep it in the for 8 years. Wow, for you, Colton, and sounds like a long time for you, Nick, and you're happy to have you back. Look at Look at you. You've been doing great in the WOE League. So we got to talk. We got to talk about WOE League at least a little bit. Um, so what's your record? I noticed you're at the top of the standing last I checked, but you seem to be doing really well. And how's it going? How's your deck? I'd love to know all about it.
Sure. So currently I believe I'm 10-2.
That's
10
pretty
and 2
good.
maybe. Yeah, it's maybe 11-2. Actually 11-2, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
So 11-2. I went 4-1 week 1, 4-1 week 2, and then I'm 3-0 this week. And the majority of my matches have been they do those side events where you can kind of play in this little 8-man tournaments, whatever else for gems on top of the league, whatever prizes. So yeah, majority of my matches have come in those. My 2 losses have come in the finals of both of those 8-man tournaments against players and good decks and stuff like that. As far as the deck itself, I'm running Abzan, just value things. Before the league actually started, I did a couple practices. I ran some Jund, thinking like maybe Jund was a thing. And I got my butt kicked pretty good. And I didn't have high hopes for the deck. I didn't really know the power level too much. I didn't do a lot of research on some of these cards.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I kind of switched to Abzan. There's the green-white uncommon, to which I don't know the name. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names of all cards. Sir something?
It was like, it's a green white 5-drop. It puts a monster on something and enchanted creatures get bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I saw that thing. I have like 2 of those guys. So I'm like, yeah, maybe Abzan's more my jam. I got some recursion with some of the graveyard synergies. And then I have 3 pieces of fixing with the 1-drop green things where it lets you grab a land, any land that you want, or you can bargain to make a 3/3, which happened a couple times.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah, the deck is pretty solid. Again, I'm going to throw some cards out there. I don't know their names. The cards that I thought have been really impressive. The 2-drop in green, that every time you throw an enchantment out, you draw a card. That's been really impressive. The card that I didn't think that was going to be that good, that has won me a bunch of games, is there's a 3-mana green enchantments. Makes a beast on the way in, and that allows you to sacrifice a creature to grab a land. So that helps with the color fixing. Helps you grab a land or a creature. So that thing's been really good as well. And nothing too crazy on the top end. Not a lot of super bomb rares. It's just all value, and just try to grind out my opponents and try and get that little bit of value each turn and kind of turn the corner in turn 7 or 8 or whatever that is.
Well, it seems to be working. 11-2. Holy cow. That's a start, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to be lucky than good. And that's what's happened. I ran into a lot of aggro, especially this past week, some red-black aggro, red-white aggro. I got lucky with, there's the 4/4 lifelink angel that comes in, throws a counter on something, and gets that ability from,
Valkyrie.
Yeah, Boonbreaker Valkyrie. See, the cards much better than me. So obviously I opened up 1 mom pack, because I was told I was supposed to open up mom packs because they're better.
Sure.
I got like the bomb of the sets, and obviously that fits right into Abzan anyway. So that's won me a game this week where I was at 1, and I was able to kind of throw that out there, throw it on, I don't know, I think the 6/7 dude that kills an enchantment on the way in, and kind of turn the game around that way. So overall, yeah, it's been pretty fun. I didn't have super high hopes when I looked at my original pool. I didn't think there was much in there, but that goes to show how much of an idiot I am.
Doesn't it feel nice to open up a Bob Mythic card and it like fits directly into your colors? Like, isn't that a good feeling?
Yeah, and I do. And everyone probably says this. Everyone's like, oh, the packs I open generally don't help, and I feel like that's always the case. But like as soon as I open them, like, yeah, that fills the need. It fills obviously the aggro need where somebody's kind of racing me with life, and it fills the fact that I can actually win the game in the air and kind of end games a little earlier than maybe I was doing in the past.
And then have you decided, Mom? Are you Mom over WoE? Was that the choice?
Well, my first pack was WoE because like I said, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I do little to no research on any of this. And all of a sudden I saw this argument and everyone's like, well, if you're not doing Mom, Well, that sounds really bad. If you're not doing mom, it's that's okay. If you're not doing mom, you're an idiot. So I'm like, well, I'll do that pack. But to be fair, the first pack I opened of the Eldraine, I got like the green white uncommon guy. I got a candy grapple
Yeah.
with that as well. So like there's a lot of stuff in that helped me as well. It wasn't just the initial pool. I've had two pretty good packs I've opened thus far.
That's it. That's what I've noticed when I'm still going back and forth, and I look at a pack and I'm like, that's a really bad Eldraine pack. I got to go mom, and then I look at a mom pack and I'm like, that's a bad mom pack. I got to go Eldraine. Like, there's still bad packs and good packs in both sides. I saw someone open an Eldraine pack that was like a super great rare, like triplets, and then a candy grapple, and then the other black like exile, a creature, uncommon card, and it was just had everything in it. It was
Yeah,
just
no
like,
doubt. I mean, a lot of it obviously just comes down to luck. If you open a couple bombs and your pool goes from a C to a B to whatever it could be, an A even, and it just comes down to that. I think, like I said, I'm not a great deck builder, so if I can get some of those bombs to help me out, that's certainly gonna allow me to propel myself to maybe top 16 or whatever I'll end up.
Hey, we'll see where you get so far. Like it's 11-2. What a great start. We wish you luck the rest of the way. But now I would love to know, Colton, how did you get into Magic? If you've been playing since you were 5, how did you get in, and how have you been enjoying it?
I love the game. It's the best game that I've ever played. I love it, and I love to play all the different types of it. But how I got into it, I think it was one day he came home and he like talked about it, and I thought, oh yeah, it's a really cool game. So he kind of showed me how to play and what cards he had, and then it kind of just grew from there. Like I started trying to learn the cards, and then I made my first little deck, and then I just kind of started liking it more and playing more in different types and more complicated, and then it just grew from there.
Oh.
But he runs into issues where I'm not sure that Magic is a super popular game for kids his age anymore. I teach 4th and 5th graders.
Okay.
So I'll see a couple kids here or there that'll play, but by and large, like every time at our game store, he's generally the youngest person. There's not a lot of kids, which is kind of an alarming trend for the game itself. If the kids are the future of the game, to not see any of those kids at the local game store or even in schools playing anymore, I think is a little frightening just from a future perspective.
Yeah. What a good. You're right. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw someone Colton's age at my local game store. It is strange, and it's who's gonna be there in 10, 20 years playing the game. We need them.
Well, it's tough because, I mean, it is a pay to play game, and and within that, obviously, like as an adult, I have more of a disposable income, so he can sit there. Like we play modern a lot. We've played Legacy. God, please don't say Commander. So like within that, like we'll play any constructed formats, and we have all the decks for it.
Yeah.
But like for him, like you have a Magic Club at your school, but what was the issue with that?
So there was we got sponsored by a couple stores, but the decks were really low powered and they didn't work. So people weren't enjoying it as much because the cards didn't work together, and it was a lot of just playing lands and just doing nothing. So it wasn't as much of fun as it would usually be.
And like you can't actually play the decks you want to play because obviously you come there with a legacy Delver deck against a sweet starter deck that has a Shivan Dragon as a top end. It's not super fun. So it hasn't so within that it's just tough to try and grow the game and kind of seeing it kind of dwindle, at least in our area, and maybe it's different in other places, but in our area I don't think I've seen a new player play in quite some time. I think the biggest reason for that is, number one, limited's dead around me, Hence I play online.
Yeah.
And number two, if everything's constructed, you have to put a couple $1,000s into a modern deck. Otherwise, you're gonna get your ass kicked every. Sorry, you can edit that out. Otherwise, you're gonna get your ass kicked every. I said it again. Butt kicked every F and M or whatever you want to play. So within that, it's a tough game to try and get into and do well with, unless you have a nearly unlimited disposable income, or you just prioritize Magic over bills.
Which I think we all do. I got 2 secret layers in the mail, and boy, I don't need to be spending money on this stuff, but here we are.
So do you use your secret layers as like in your decks, or is it just more of
No, I don't play paper Magic at all. I just buy secret layers that I think are cool. I got the VHS ones and the baseball ones today. They're fun.
No doubt. Yes, and same thing. Like I have every secret layer ever printed, except for the April Fool's one, because that went to the stores.
Yeah.
But I've never opened any of them. They just sit there in my basement collecting dust. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm such an idiot. But
Yeah.
it's a fear of missing out. Like, this is one time only. I'm just going to put forth the $300 for a stupid bundle that will sit there, lose interest because they're going to reprint it 10 times, and by the time I open it when I'm 70 years old, it's going to be worth nothing anyway. Like my 1990 Topps baseball cards that are still in my basement.
Oh, I bet that's a story. 1995 Topps baseball cards. Well, I'd love to know, Nick. You've been in a bunch of leagues. You've been around these things for a while. I've definitely seen you around for a long time. What has been your favorite league or side event that you've been able to play in?
So yeah, I've been playing for quite some time. It's maybe been a year or two. I try and play in all these. Again, there's not a lot of limited around my area, so like anytime I can play limited, I'm in. And these leagues are run so well from all the guys that it really is a joy. It's like, oh, so I can play a couple matches in a couple spare hours that I have on a Tuesday night, as opposed to in my area where maybe there's a draft once every other month. So with that, I'm super appreciative of what this league provides, which is a place for me to play limited in a non-limited environment. So with that in mind, going into it, I've been playing a lot of leagues. I'm trying to think my favorites. Generally the team ones. So I played in, I think, 3 different team ones. The last one was with my kid. He did well. I did not. What deck did you play?
I played Black Blue Ninjas. It was Kamigawa, and I had a bunch of the Ninja Lords and just a lot of really good rares that worked together.
And your record was?
I think I went 10-2. Wait,
Yeah.
8-2?
I have no idea what it was, but it was significantly better than mine.
It was very good. I remember playing you, and you stopped me at one point. Your deck was just it was like the black blue ninja deck.
Yeah.
I think it was very good.
Yeah,
he ran through that. I mean, it was super aggressive and just had all the uncommons you need for that deck. And we made a conscious choice. I mean, it was his first time in a league, so I'm like, I'll give you, or we'll let you take the more streamlined deck, which was ninjas at the time, and then I just had a 3-color pile, to which I think I went 2 and 10 or whatever it was, and just got curb stomped time and time again, breaking down my already fragile self-esteem.
Oh no.
While raising his. So that was a fun one, obviously, to be able to enjoy it with my 18-year-old son, was great. I mean, I did one with I think it was Richard and Paul and I think Mitch as well, another team one, a 4-person team. That was fun as well. The first team one I did, gosh, it was with my New Zealand friend, and I'm not sure he plays on the server anymore. He hasn't played for quite some time. It was a gentleman by the name of Daniel, I believe, from New Zealand. And obviously, you can look at my profile. You can see I made 1 top 8, and that was the only top 8 I made. It was like he was a super chill dude. Obviously, being from New Zealand, like my family was all impressed because he had like this sweet accent, and horrible Midwestern accent because we're from Wisconsin. So it was like this awesome thing of being able to connect like the world in this stupid little game of Magic, and to be able to talk to him and talk through plays and even like get to know him a little bit was just the greatest thing. Him being on the other side of the world, like he was playing matches during the day. And again, I'm a teacher, so like on my lunchtime, I remember like logging in through my phone and like watching his matches and kind of like quietly like whispering what to do. And he was doing the same thing. I remember there was one time we were playing a match. And it was like maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning his time, and he was talking about like I think he was talking his wife or his partner was asleep next to him, so he's like I have to be really quiet about this. So it was like this cool thing that like him and I were doing, and we did super well with it until I crapped the bed in the mega draft, and he did really awesome. But that was probably my favorite one. Again, I think anytime you can play Magic in partners, like I've done team Grand Prix a bunch with friends around, and those are the best because it's not just like me against the world; it's like us against the world. And when I have bad beats against me, I can just cry and lament to them, and they'll say, "Oh no, it's not your fault, Nick. It's everyone else's fault." And then together we can go bitch and moan and get some burgers after. So like anything team is always going to be a little bit more fun. Individually is cool, but teams and partners and stuff like that are always my favorite. So I think that first one with Daniel, I'm trying to think what it was. Maybe it was Eldritch Moon. Would probably be my favorite.
How did you? Was that just like a random team up, or did you know them?
Yeah, so that was 100% a random thing. I think that in the looking for partners, I put out there, which is the truth, like mediocre player looking for the same. It was like a dating thing. It was like a dudes meet dudes on like a Tinder profile type deal. Mediocre Magic player looking for the same, and he responded. He's like, "Hey, I'm mediocre too." So we teamed up, and a little bit of magic happened. We formed a connection and hit the top 8, and should have done better. Like I said, we did really well, but then the mega draft it came at a weird time, and I crapped the bed, and like I said, I didn't do very well, and he did really awesome because he's a much better player than me. But like I said, I haven't seen him for a while, so hopefully he gets back on this.
Yeah, hopefully he does. Comes in, makes it to a mega draft, and just disappears into the night as some of them do out there. Colton, you've only played in the team one, but I saw you were playing some decathlon stuff. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was awesome. I love the chaos. I had a sweet deck with Creative of Behemoth, and so at the end I figured this out. It was Creative of Behemoth, Final Parting, and Back for More. So on turn 5, I would play Back for More.
No,
I mean the Final Parting to put my Creative Behemoth in my graveyard and put Back for More in my hand. And then I would the next turn return my Crater Hoof with the Back for More to fight, and then just pretty much win the game with all my little creatures I'd play in the first 4 turns. It was amazing. It was the stupidest thing. And
that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made like top. Did you lose in the finals? I think you lost to Steve in the finals one time. Maybe a couple top 4s. You won more gems than me overall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
wow.
Yeah, he does side events every once in a while.
Yeah.
Again, you have to be 18 to play in the main events or whatever we want to call those.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, he might be turning 18 soon enough.
Yeah, I mean, from what I can tell, I mean, you could be 19, 20. I mean, it's who knows, you know? I mean, and you're doing great. You're making top 4s, getting to the finals, playing against Steve, who won the whole thing, you know? Yeah. And how fun was that decathlon? Super fun. Loved that decathlon.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super great. Like I think actually that's probably my favorite thing about the servers is the side events. Again, I'm a guy that doesn't have a large attention span, so like these week-long or month-long grinds are a lot for me. So like for me to play like in events in a night is exactly what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
And so like to have those, Miranda's doing a great one on Wednesdays. Mitch generally does them as well throughout the course of the year, and try and get as many of those as possible. I think it's always fun to play limited with people that know what they're doing. Again, I think you and I did a draft for real like a month ago or whatever that was. And again, this league or these side events really prepare you for that.
Yeah.
I think the level of competition on this server is probably much higher than anything that we see, at least in our area.
Oh, I think it's higher than most people see. You know, like it's you have to be good and want to play and do well to stick around. Because if you don't want to play well and don't want a high competition, they leave. Those kinds of people they leave. So yeah, the people that play and stay. Oh man, I mean you got Jordan's like what a top 10 arena player. I mean those stats blow my mind.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, again, like I said, I think the skills that you acquire in these leagues and on the server really translates well into paper. I know even when we go to pre-releases, which again, we don't really know the cards ahead of time,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think just understanding how limited works, how deck building works has really helped us
I
out.
think you've won every pre-release, every set's pre-release for like the last year or two. At our
Nice.
sport.
Well, no, and he does as well. Like we go back and forth with like we do pretty well within this because again, those skills that we use time and time again on the server, obviously really transfer over to the local game stores.
Yeah.
I just hope like there's not a lot of limited Grand Prix or SCG events. Hopefully that starts coming back a little bit more because I would love to play more in those. That'd be really awesome. I know I went to Vegas last year. It was the same thing. It felt like I was just a step ahead of everyone else with all the limited, just from how much I play on the server.
Yeah, I miss those things too. I used to go play, and I played in some team GPs, like you said you have, and I usually go play in some side events, and it's just so fun. Like it's so fun to get the magic in, go to the prize wall, get some fun, cool stuff, and have a good time opening up some cool cards and playing some good magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. What team wants did you do? Do you remember?
I played an Ixalan one that I think was in DC maybe or New Jersey.
I played Ixalan team sealed as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to
Do
figure
you have
out.
the flip? Did you get the flip playmats? You get the playmat that had like it was like search for Azcanta, and on one side was one side of the playmat, and you flip it over.
I do not have that.
Oh,
But that could be the point where you had to actually pay more for playmats.
that's true. That could have been.
Used to get like the free promo, the free playmat, and everything else, and then they kind of took that stuff away. So maybe it was at that point where they didn't.
I would have paid extra for a playmat that's double sided. I'm a sucker for that kind of thing.
And then once you're done, just throw in the pile with all the other playmats.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's in my closet in the middle of 15 other playmats.
Yeah, no doubt. I remember the Ixalan one. I'm trying to think
Ixalan.
where it was, but they might have been around the country. But I remember, yeah, there was like vampires, dinosaurs, and you just kind of picked your tribe and stuff like that. Pirates, I think, part of that.
And I played in an Eldrazi one, whatever the Eldrazi sets were with Devoid.
Okay.
I opened a foil Reality Smasher. Still have that somewhere.
That seems like a solid limited card if you can get the colorless mana.
Oh yeah, it was good. I mean, I remember it was a fast format though. It was the kind of thing where 5 mana was just too slow sometimes. Like, those Eldrazi. Oh boy, those Eldrazi.
And then they ruined Modern for a whole winter.
Yep. And then I remember I had a foil. I had a foil Eldrazi temple, some kind of land, and I was trying to sell it, and I was like, "Oh man, this one's got to be worth a ton." Nobody would buy it because everyone knew the deck was going to get banned. I was so mad. Oh.
That's back when foils were worth something, and there weren't like 14 different alternate versions of them.
Yep. That's back when I was like, "Oh man, look, this card finally is spiking. Maybe I can do it." And like, no one wanted to touch that thing because everyone knew. Oh, it was a bummer. Well, I asked the league for questions and they didn't disappoint, as they never do. This first question comes from Damien, and it's for you, Colton. Colton, do you think your dad is good at Magic?
For sure. 100%. He taught me how to play and he taught me everything I know about the game. And I've seen him play tournaments, I've seen him win. He was ranked number 2 on Arena at a given point.
Nice.
I've seen him do really well in Grand Prix. So yes, 100%.
That's awesome. What was that last one? One of Grand Prix?
No.
Not one, but you've almost made top.
I've cashed a couple of Grand Prix.
Nice. That's super impressive.
Yeah, I don't think I was close. I don't think I ever. No, I know I didn't top 8 one. But I was close. I remember I played Kevin Jones on table number 1 in Milwaukee at a standard one. I think I played Owen Pearl World. I don't know his name. At some point as well. So like, yeah, I've been around, but man, just like in League, I eventually crashed down to where I belong, which right in the creamy middle, right in the white part of the Oreo is where I belong.
Hey, you're just one lucky run away. That's all it takes. One lucky
That's
streak.
exactly what a degenerate poker player says.
Hey, one more. Just one more hand. That's all we need. Raphael would like to know who has the better head-to-head matchup, which I guess means which one of you two is better in head-to-head. Do you guys ever play each other? I'm sure you must play all the time.
We play all the time, and it's him because we have standings. We have our own cubes. We have a standard cube and a modern cube, and
Oh my God.
I get blown out. It's not very close, and I beat him in the standard cube, but he beats me in the modern cube because, yeah.
I don't believe in taking it easy. Kids need to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Whether it's my son or other people. I don't believe in ever letting somebody win. So yeah, I've been beating him since he's been 5, and enjoying it every step of the way. He's pretty good. Eventually he'll overtake me, but I don't think it's right now. Especially in limited, I still think there's some deck building stuff that kind of he struggles with from time to time in terms of like understand the curve or what's good and what's not good. But overall, yeah, he's a solid player. There's as a father, there's a large smile on my face, an unlimited amount of joy when I see him beating old people. Because I get so off. Like this little, I mean, he's 13, obviously, but he looks like he could pass for 9. In fact, he does pass for lower when we're trying to get cheaper rates at Disney World or something.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah, it's a good amount of joy when I see like this old dude. When I say old, like 40, like myself. He gets all happy because he's getting paired up with Colton in the first round of F&M. He's gonna like think I'm gonna steamroll this little punk, and then like Colton beats him handily.
Nice.
And from the distance, I get to sit there and watch it. It's super awesome to see it. And man, that's happening since he's been playing at local game stores since he was probably 7, legitimately 7, like game days and stuff like that. F&M since 7. So yeah, it's been good to see. And like I said, his game has evolved. Now he doesn't play as much as he used to because he doesn't love me as much. And he has other things as mine, like sports or girls or whatever else kids do these days. But yeah, overall, it's been good to see his growth within the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be super proud to watch your son out there. Yeah, they're kicking butt in the Magic and all these different. You guys have mentioned so many different formats, basically naming all of them. I'd love to get into them, but we don't have the time. We got to keep pushing through. I need to know. It's been so long. I've gotten into arguments with other people. The name Najisi, NJS the third. What is it? What does it mean?
It's just my name. There's nothing cool behind it. It's my name would be Nicholas, and then my middle name is Jay, and then my last name starts with an S.
Sure.
And then the I is just an inside joke between my father, because I always thought it would be cool, like if I was growing up to be called like a third, like a royal person in Britain or something like
It
that.
is a third.
Have this, like, this awesome lineage that I can look back on. So I was like Nicholas J the third. Like even when I graduated college, they had that like announcing, and my grandpa was there, and just the look of disappointment on my grandpa's face, because obviously his name's not Nicholas, and nor was my dad's. So within that, it's just an inside joke between myself and my father that it's just I like to be called the third. Just kind of
awesome.
Rubbing in his face of how disappointed I was that his name was not as cool as Nicholas.
Chris R, you were right. Oh my gosh. Jeez. It's not Najisi. I thought I mean I don't know. I don't know if I can stop saying Najisi. Maybe I have to retire it.
I mean it sounds cool. It sounds like it should be cooler than it is. But no, just my name.
No. Well, it's great. I'm glad we could finally figure it out. It's been contentious in my life for too long. And lastly, before we go, it's time for Steve Stumper.
Steve Stumpers. I'm just a puzzle guy.
All right. So Steve's question for you, which we got today. Anthony controls Quirk, son of Yawgmoth, and a bunch of mountains. He wants to cast Torrent of Souls to bring Yawgmoth, Thran Physician, back from his graveyard and give it haste, using 4 mountains and Quirk's ability to pay for it. Can he?
So to me, you just spoke a different language, so I'm going to throw this on Colton.
Colton.
I have a guess, so I kind of know what some of the cards do.
Sure.
And I would say yes, but I'm not sure because I know that the Torn of Souls is red or black. It's 4 colorless, red or black. So in the other 7-drop, you can pay 2 life instead of paying a black. So I would believe it would be yes because he only has the 4 mountains. So I think he'll be able to pay 2 life to be able to play the Torn of Souls to return the Yawgmoth.
Okay, so
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I can never. These things are above my head.
And it's so much like all these rules. Like it's the game is a lot nicer when the program just does it for you.
Oh, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't miss even like I love shuffling cards, but I also don't really miss having to deal with shuffling and cutting and dealing with all that stuff. Let the machines just take care of it. And but fix the shuffler. You got to fix the shuffler. Unfortunately, the answer is no. You did not. Yes.
I asked him, and he said, "Just say yeah."
I literally said I have not
today.
heard of those cards. Those all seem like commander cards, to which that is a banned format in my household.
No
so
commander.
That was a lot. The questions are always fun.
Oh yeah, they're fun, but man, these Steve says no. Torrent of Souls can't target Yawgmoth. Torrent of Souls can target Yawgmoth in the graveyard, but since B wasn't actually spent to cast it, Yawgmoth won't return to the battlefield. So you had to pay a specific black mana.
This is exactly why he's not allowed in the league because he doesn't know those rules.
I asked you if you could do the pay 2 life for the black man, and you're like, "Oh yeah, probably."
This is why kids under 18 shouldn't be allowed in the league because they don't understand the complexities like you and I.
Yeah, you'll never be able to cast Torrent of Souls with your Yawgmoth in the graveyard with that attitude, Colton. Anyway, thank you both so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I've been trying to get you on since Team League. I'm so happy that we could have it happen. Colton, thank you for playing and keep playing Magic. You seem to be a fantastic player. I always love that when I get paired against you. So please keep it going. And Nick, thank you so much for not only coming on the show, but for I always play against you in the side events and stuff. You're always super fun to play against, and you're doing great. So I'm super happy to see that happening. So congratulations for how good you've been doing so far.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, no problem, you guys, and keep winning. Keep it on out there with your games, and we'll see you right after the break. NJS the third. I'm probably still going to say Najisi. I like Najisi. I don't know what it is. It just rolls off the tongue really well. So happy to get both of them on, and so cool. Colton was awesome, and Colton's great. Like, Colton's a great player, and I know we said he's 15. He's a very young-looking 18, if you ask me. We got to get this guy in a couple of the leagues because he's a good player. And how proud, what a proud father Nick must be. Not only does his son share his Magic playing hobby, but his son's good. He's good. He's beaten me. I don't know that I've ever beaten Colton. Colton's a good player. And again, he's a young 18 sitting at 15, and he's only going to get better. So cool and so awesome to have them on. I do apologize again. I was a little late to this recording. Doesn't happen much. I'm usually very, very timely. Part of something I'm proud of. But for that record, I was about 20, 30 minutes late, and I still feel very bad about it. So I do apologize again and again, and I will apologize forever, Nick, about that. I am very sorry. And that's going to wrap it up for the show. We're getting ready for Wilds of Eldraine Week 4. No one's been eliminated yet, but it's coming. Right? Oh, let's take a look. Has anyone been eliminated? Oh, we do have a couple eliminations. Well, they're drops. 1, 2, 3 drops. 2 eliminations. We're going to wait to do eliminations till next week. I don't like shouting out people who drop. No offense to people who drop, but you didn't really get eliminated because you didn't really play. So we'll do eliminations next week with a nice fun drop. We can get a whole mess of people. Whole lot of people going down next week. Watch out. Hope you are playing some good Magic because, This is a tough one. Everything's so aggressive. Like all these top 8 decks, most of them are black red rats or black green. There's a lot of black up there, and it's just it's hard. This is a hard one, man. I don't know what to say. I've noticed so many games are decided by not even going first, but just I feel like everything's lucky. It's like whoever has the lucky curve, whoever has the curve and their lands wins. And it's if you miss a land on turn 3, turn 4, a lot of times you're just done in this format. Like you just can't have that be happening. And it's not like you're trying to get up to big 6, 7, 8 drops. Like this is a faster format, and you're either trying to control the board and make sure you last long enough to stabilize and win, or you're trying to beat down really quick and make as many little rectangles as you can. And I hope you're doing well. I really do. I hope you're enjoying WOE League. We're starting to talk about the next league. Might be a team league, might be a set war. They're trying to figure it out. Keep your ears and eyes peeled to the Discord. Get in there, get on it. Get on Richard's Monday night feature matches. He's always looking for more people to play. And check out the commentary I did. It was a fun time. And while you're at it, I hope you get to keep a good 7, because week 1, I had a lot of good 7s, 4-1. Week 2, I did not get to keep a lot of good 7s, 1-4. This week, had some pretty good 7s, back to 3-2. And you know what else helps? Having the shuffler be in your favor. Because if the shuffler likes you, you're golden. That's what I like to do. I like to get up to the shuffler, and maybe I give him a nice little present before I start. Like, oh yeah, here's a $5 gift card to Tim Hortons. That's a reference for you Canadians. Have a nice Tim Hortons $5 gift card, shuffler. And maybe you just make sure that those cards on top of my deck, maybe you just make sure they're the ones that I need at the right time. Because boy, does that help. All right, everyone. We'll see you all here next week for Wilds of Eldraine Week 4. Bye, everybody.